Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're not just scratching the surface of Genoa City. We are diving deep into a really intense 2-week window, September 15th to the 26th. And what we're seeing is, well, it looks like the city's caught in this dangerous cycle, this feedback loop.
Yeah, we've got a huge amount of information here detailing these high-stakes corporate battles, a lot of personal spying going on, and relationships hitting these breaking points with ultimatums flying everywhere.
Exactly. And the core narrative, it seems, is this massive revenge plot. It's not just aimed at Victor Newman, though he's definitely a target. It looks like it's specifically designed to set up one ally to be like the $5 million fall guy for another.
That's the crucial thing here, isn't it? We often see business drama and personal lives running side by side. But this time, the sources show it's all connected by one single, very calculated conspiracy, this anti-Victor plot. And it's acting like a chaotic black hole, pulling everyone in.
Forcing them to choose, right,
Yeah.
compromise their morals or their relationships.
Absolutely. And what's really fascinating, I think, is that the person behind the plan, Kane, he hasn't just factored in betrayal as a risk. It seems like it's actually part of the mechanism for success.
Wow.
Yeah, the number of double crosses happening all at once, it's kind of staggering. It means everyone is essentially choosing sides based on lies.
Right. And this isn't just business strategy, is it? It feels like it's weaponizing these really deep-seated personal issues, especially Billy Abbott's long-standing obsession with Victor.
Definitely. It's deception piled on paranoia.
Yeah.
And it all seems to be heading towards a massive crash, both professionally and personally, for some key people.
So our mission today is to really unpack this intense period. Let's look at the corporate chaos, the personal fallout, starting right at the heart of it. This elaborate, calculated scheme against Victor led by Kane Ashby. Okay, let's get into it. So this whole 2-week period, it feels absolutely dominated by this one single goal, taking down Newman Enterprises.
Completely.
Yeah.
And for Billy Abbott, as you said, this isn't just a business move. It's emotional. It's something he needs to do. Even if he has no idea, he's basically being set up to be the passenger, not the driver in this whole thing.
That psychological angle is so important, isn't it? To understand why Billy is just so open to Kane's manipulation right now.
It really is. When Billy and Kane meet up on September 17th, the sources make it super clear. Billy is laser focused on his obsession, finally taking down Victor.
Yeah, it's not new.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Billy's been holding on to this dream for, quote, years and years. It's fueled by every single slight, every corporate battle, every personal loss he ties back to Victor.
So he sees Kane and this powerful tech Kane is offering as the ultimate weapon.
Exactly. The necessary tool to finally get that emotional payback.
Yeah.
And it seems to override any sense of caution he might normally have.
But while Billy's lost in his vendetta, we can't assume Victor Newman is just sitting there unaware.
Oh, absolutely not. The sources confirm Victor is definitely on high alert. It says he takes aim at multiple targets during this time. So he's aware something's coming, and he's already playing defense, aggressively.
He knows attacks are coming, maybe just not the exact how.
Right. And that defensive posture immediately puts the Abbotts on edge, like they're bracing for war. Jack Abbott specifically warns Nicky Newman about it.
What does he say?
Well, Jack seems to operate from this assumption that Victor's just falling back into his old patterns, his classic anti-Abbott vendetta.
Which is familiar territory.
It is, but what's really telling is Jack's tone this time. He tells Nicky that, usually he tries to keep things civil, tries to play nice, but this time, because of how extreme Victor's moves are, or might be, Jack says he won't hold back.
That's a big shift for Jack. That sounds like a serious escalation.
It's huge. It signals just how serious this conflict is and how ready the Abbotts are for basically mutual destruction if it comes to that.
Okay, so we've got Billy's emotional drive, Victor's defense is up, the Abbotts preparing for war. But the real core of this plot, the ruthlessness of it, lies in Kane's strategic deception, specifically with this AI software.
Yes, the AI software, it's the absolute linchpin of the whole attack. And the deception around it really confirms Kane is playing a much longer, much more manipulative game than Billy realizes.
How do we know for sure he's deceiving Billy?
We get confirmation pretty early on. Amanda Sinclair, she's sharp, legally minded, has history with Kane. She asks him straight up, are you really handing control of this powerful AI program to Billy?
And Kane's answer?
On September 15th, his response is just chillingly calculated. He says, not really. He explicitly tells Amanda he's going to be secretly controlling it.
Wow, so Billy will think he's running the show.
Exactly. But the actual execution, the critical decisions the software makes, likely involving finance or legal moves.
Yeah.
That'll all be Kane pulling the strings behind the scenes.
That just completely changes the power dynamic, doesn't it? Billy thinks he has the weapon.
But Kane knows Billy is just the delivery guy. The AI isn't just code here. It's likely designed to mess with Newman Enterprises' systems, their finances, maybe steal data.
And if Kane controls it secretly, he can make it look like Billy is responsible for whatever damage it does.
Precisely. He can direct it to benefit himself, while any illegal or damaging actions trace back to Billy's command. It sets up the whole thing as, essentially, a corporate false flag operation.
So Kane sets this in motion immediately.
Yep. He texts Billy, asks if they're good to go, basically launching the plan. Then on the 19th, he makes it more formal. He sets up a meeting with his posse.
His posse? Who's in this group?
Well, the potential list is fascinating. Billy, Phyllis, Amanda, Michael, Halden. It's a coalition built on, frankly, vulnerability and deceit.
Yeah. Billy's blinded by revenge. Michael's a spy. Phyllis is a master manipulator. Amanda's his legal cover.
Exactly. They aren't loyal followers. They're individuals with their own agendas, which makes them, kind of perfect for Kane to manipulate in this temporary alliance.
So if this plan goes wrong, or rather, when Kane makes it go wrong,
everyone in that room risks getting exposed as a Kane ally. But the sources are incredibly clear about who the ultimate target is, set up for the week of September 22nd. Kane has it all planned. He just needs Billy out there as his front man, as the scapegoat.
The scapegoat, meaning Billy takes the fall.
All the legal and financial consequences, criminal charges, civil lawsuits. Given we're talking Newman Enterprises, that could easily mean millions, maybe more in penalties, all landing on Billy's doorstep.
That's like corporate assassination by remote control. Kane uses Billy's hatred for Victor to make Billy walk right into this trap.
Enthusiastically walk into it even, which is the twisted genius of it.
Now let's talk about how Billy gets even deeper into this. Because at first, he didn't think he needed Kane's full help, right?
Right. He made a huge mistake, a strategic miscalculation on September 19th. Billy, in his typical, arrogant way,
Overconfident.
very overconfident, he thought he could just pull a simple power move. He assumed he could just threaten and blackmail Victor into giving in. He was just banking on the threat of having this AI software.
Thinking the potential damage would be enough to make Victor fold immediately.
Exactly. But wait, isn't that just classic Billy? Underestimating Victor, thinking a threat is enough. What leverage did he think he actually had there?
Well, he probably thought the surprise element, the idea of instant, untraceable corporate chaos would be enough. He misjudged Victor's tolerance for risk, clearly.
Totally. Victor's way too smart for that. He wouldn't just roll over because some new program exists, especially when the threat comes from Billy Abbott.
So the sources say this attempt fails.
Flat out fails. Victor doesn't negotiate under duress like that. It shows Victor's probably already got countermeasures in mind, or the threat just wasn't specific enough yet.
And the consequence of that failure for Billy is huge.
Immediate and dire. Suddenly the threat alone isn't enough. He realizes he's in too deep to just walk away now. He needs the actual power of Kane and the AI.
The software he still thinks he'll control.
Right. And that realization, that desperation after his bluff failed, it pushes him right into the exact role Kane needed him for. The scapegoat. He doesn't even see it coming.
It's a complete lack of self-awareness, isn't it? Driven by that compulsive need for revenge.
He's so focused on Victor, the long game, that he ignores the immediate danger right next to him, Kane. That willingness to chase revenge, no matter the cost, it's Billy's fatal flaw.
And it's about to cause massive collateral damage, spilling out from the boardroom into everyone's personal lives.
Yeah, the toxicity of this whole plot, it doesn't stay contained. It pulls people like Michael Baldwin right into the thick of it, forcing him into these impossible corners. Professional loyalty versus personal betrayal.
Michael is absolutely caught in a spy crisis here. He's trying to juggle everything, his personal life, his marriage to Lauren, this incredibly complicated new job.
He tells Phyllis he's officially on Team Kane, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to smooth things over. Yeah, he's hoping that showing this new loyalty will help them finally move past the whole messy Sharon issue. He wants to reset things with Phyllis, but his secrecy immediately raises a huge red flag for her.
And the specific red flag is that he insists Lauren, his wife, doesn't know and can't know about the job with Kane. Why is that so crucial?
Well, it suggests Michael knows just how risky this whole operation is, financially and maybe even criminally. If he is spying for Victor, and Kane's plan involves illegal corporate sabotage.
Lauren could be implicated. She's too high profile.
Exactly. Her own business, her reputation, The risk is immense if this thing blows up, which it seems designed to do. He has to keep her firewalled from it.
And Phyllis, being Phyllis, picks up on this immediately.
Oh, yeah. She's notoriously suspicious. She's seen it all. She knows this level of secrecy isn't just about a sensitive business deal. It screams cover-up. It screams liability.
Especially with their history. She knows his tells.
Right, so she doesn't just let it go. She issues a very direct ultimatum. She demands Michael reveal his real agenda.
And the threat.
It's clear. If he doesn't come clean with her, she'll go straight to Kane and tell him Michael is being shady.
So she's forcing him to choose. Betray Victor by telling her the truth, or she'll blow his cover with Kane.
Precisely. And this is the crisis point for Michael. He cannot reveal his real agenda. He's spying for Victor Newman. He's trapped.
He's playing this incredibly dangerous triple game.
Sworn to Victor, pretending loyalty to Kane, trying to shield his marriage from the fallout, all while Phyllis is watching his every move. The stakes, if he gets exposed, are massive jail time, marriage destroyed, the wrath of both Victor and Kane. It's an absolute high-wire act.
And Michael's not the only one facing an ultimatum because of this plot. Billy's path is causing huge problems in his relationship with Sally Spectra.
Sally definitely sees the train wreck coming. She's got a sharp eye for self-destruction, maybe from her own past experiences.
So when Diane Jenkins asks her if Billy's okay,
Sally's response is blunt and predictive. She says, no, he's about to make the biggest mistake of his life. She gets it. This isn't about business success for Billy. It's about feeding that addiction to revenge to chaos.
and Sally, who's actually put up with a lot from Billy over time, she finally draws a hard line on September 16th.
A very hard line.
Yeah.
The ultimatum is crystal clear. I will walk if you do this with Kane. It's not a negotiation. It's a final declaration.
It's the ultimate test for Billy, right? His toxic revenge fantasy versus a stable, loving relationship.
And this really highlights what Jack later calls Billy's gambling nature, because the sources suggest Billy might still do it, even with Sally threatening to walk.
He might still choose the revenge plot.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
It confirms that for Billy, this need to settle the score with Victor, this pursuit of chaos, is like a compulsion. It's stronger than even his deepest relationships. He seems willing to burn everything down, including Sally, for one more shot at the game.
It's hardly surprising then that his family starts trying to step in. They see the collision course he's on. Jack Abbott goes directly to Victoria Newman for help.
Jack is clearly desperate at this point. He knows trying to reason with Victor is pointless, so Billy becomes the only target for intervention.
He hopes Victoria can get through to him because of their history, the kids.
Exactly. He's hoping she can talk some sense into Billy about this incredibly destructive plan with Kane. Jack's basically looking for anyone who might be able to stop his brother from self-destructing.
And Victoria finds herself in a really tough spot here.
Incredibly complex. She's got loyalty to Newman Enterprises, obviously. She wants to avoid another, quote, nuclear war with the Abbotts.
But then there's the personal side.
Right. She doesn't want the father of two of her children going down the drain. It's this battle between her corporate head and her maternal heart. The family name versus the father of her kids.
Which way does she lean?
It seems her loyalty to her children's father wins out, at least initially. The sources indicate she might agree to Jack's request, probably sometime in the week of September 22nd.
But there's a catch.
Yeah, the speculation right alongside that is that the intervention is almost certainly doomed to fail because Billy won't listen. He's just too far gone into this revenge plot to hear reason, even from Victoria.
This whole situation forces Jack and Diane into this really practical, almost grim conversation about self-preservation.
It does. They realize they aren't just worried about Victor anymore. They're actually debating the best approach to protect themselves, not just from Victor, but also from Billy and his uncontrollable gambling nature.
Wow. They see Billy himself as a threat now.
That's the critical shift. It's a stunning indictment of how far gone Billy is. He's become so erratic, so reliably self-destructive that his own family now views him as a secondary threat they need to strategically manage, right alongside Victor Newman.
The corporate war is so toxic, it's actually fracturing the Abbotts from within. They're strategizing against one of their own.
It shows just how deep the damage goes already.
Okay, so if the Newman-Abbott war is all about betrayal between allies, the drama with Kyle and Claire seems to be hitting different notes. It's more about the fragility of trust, jealousy getting mixed up with protection, and Victor's influence showing up in these really weird financial ways.
Yeah, this whole storyline kicks off with this interesting moment of shared vulnerability, trying to sort of reset the conflict between Kyle and Nate Hastings.
Kyle's worried Nate hates him.
Seems like it, yeah. maybe sees him as competition, but Nate actually reassures him. He frames them both as Audra Charles's victims.
Ah, the Audra connection.
Right, that shared experience of being manipulated by Audra creates this temporary fragile bond, and Nate specifically points out that Claire was the one most hurt by Audra.
That's important context, acknowledging Claire's vulnerability from that past relationship.
Definitely. Nate says he's done with Audra for good. Although, interestingly, the sources warn us Audra is expected to try and get back with him soon, so that might not be over.
Always drama lurking. But even with that cleared up between them, Kyle immediately finds a new source of anxiety.
Instantly. He voices concern that this guy, Holden Novak, has latched onto Claire.
And Kyle's reaction is not great.
It's immediate panic. He feels forced to be the bigger person around September 16th, trying to prove himself so Claire doesn't dump him. But he sees Holden as this existential threat to the stability he wants with Claire.
Which just feeds right into the trust issues she already has with him because of his past actions.
Exactly. And then those trust issues get massively complicated by this huge financial move from Victor Newman.
Right, the $5 million contract. Claire tells Victoria about this.
She does, and Victoria's reaction is really insightful here. She kind of sees both sides of Victor's move.
How so?
On one hand, she interprets this huge sum as proof of how much Kyle must love Claire. It's this grand, slightly bizarre, but very Newman way of showing commitment.
Okay.
But Victoria, knowing her father like she does, also calls the whole thing shady. Because fundamentally, that $5 million, it's a control mechanism.
Victor's trying to buy Claire's loyalty.
Essentially, yeah. Putting a price tag on the relationship instead of letting trust develop naturally. It's Victor trying to ensure stability for his family through, well, financial coercion.
And Claire confirms her problem isn't the money, it's Kyle's behavior.
Right. She admits she really didn't like his over-the-top jealous reaction to Holden. She saw it as kind of possessive and just too much. She's pinpointing that difference between caring and controlling, which is exactly where her trust issues with Kyle stem from.
So Victoria steps in almost like a counselor?
Effectively, yeah. She gives Claire some surprisingly good advice, telling her to give Kyle a real chance. But then, Victoria drops an emotional bombshell.
What does she reveal?
She completely floors Claire by telling her that Kyle told Victoria he has never had feelings for anyone the way he feels about Claire. Not even Summer.
Wow, not even Summer. That's huge.
It's a massive reveal. Kyle's basically saying his past marriage, his history with Summer, it all pales in comparison to his connection with Claire. Victoria uses this incredibly powerful detail to try and outweigh Kyle's recent jealous behavior.
Forcing Claire to weigh his flaws against this evidence of really deep, genuine feelings.
Exactly. But Claire still needs to hear something from Kyle directly, which leads to this final, crucial standoff between them.
And it all comes back to trust.
Totally. Claire asks him point blank, "Were you grilling Nate about Holden?" Kyle gets defensive, or maybe he's being honest and says he just doesn't want Holden taking advantage of her. He tries to frame his jealousy as protection, maybe playing on her vulnerability from the Audra situation.
But Claire doesn't buy it.
She flips it right back on him. She says Kyle's the one she's not sure she can trust. It's a complete reversal.
Yeah.
He's worried about her loyalty, but his own suspicious actions have just undermined his trustworthiness in her eyes.
So where does that leave them?
Kyle gets desperate. He pleads with her for a reset. Just start over, wipe the slate clean. It's jealousy, the money, everything.
But can they?
Well, Claire considers it. Maybe she takes Victoria's advice for that fresh start, looking towards the week of September 22nd. But the sources are clear. Holden Novak is staying very close in her periphery. The romantic threat, real or perceived by Kyle, isn't gone.
And that fundamental trust, the only thing that can really overcome Victor's money and Kyle's possessiveness, it still feels incredibly shaky.
Very tenuous. Still completely unestablished, really.
Okay, so while that main corporate war is raging and Kyle's fighting for Claire, there are other really important personal dramas unfolding across Genoa City. We should definitely dig into Kane's other major project, his attempt to win back Lily, which is happening at the same time as his corporate sabotage plot.
Kane is absolutely running a multi-front campaign, isn't he? Using manipulation for business and romance. His play for Lily seems to kick off around September 15th. Amanda bumps into Lily and Devin, and they're apparently bickering quite intensely.
Amanda sees an opening.
Seems like it. She talks to Lily one-on-one, tests the waters, asks if she misses Devin.
What were Lily and Devin even arguing about? Do we know?
Sources suggest it's likely the usual stuff, co-parenting, maybe lingering business ties that are still awkward after the breakup. But whatever it was, Lily seems very firm about Kane.
How so?
When Amanda tries to gauge Lily's feelings, Amanda brings up that really raw memory that defines Lily's boundaries. She clarifies Lily definitely doesn't miss, quote, seeing Abby naked with Devin on the sofa when she caught them cheating.
Oof. Yeah, that detail keeps the betrayal fresh. It reminds you why Lily is so guarded with Kane.
It's crucial context. Lily insists she is absolutely not softening towards Kane. She thinks it's best if their twins just cut him out entirely.
And Devin agrees.
He supports her completely. He even brings up his own painful history, saying he had to do the same thing with his own biological father, Tucker McCall, to find stability. That sets an incredibly high bar for Kane to get back in her good graces. Far higher than just saying sorry.
Yet, despite that incredibly firm line, Kane still tries.
He launches this two-pronged charm offensive. On September 18th, he tries charming Lily directly. Maybe thinking just being nice and present can fix years of mistrust.
Seems unlikely. What's the second prong?
Recognizing he needs help from the inside, he recruits Amanda. The same Amanda who's his confidant and legal shield in the other plot. He asks her to try and befriend Lily to help him win her back.
He's using his allies for corporate destruction and personal reconstruction. Wow.
He really is. And he's also trying to play the family angle to stabilize things around him. He tries to convince Billy to patch things up with Jill Abbott since she's coming back soon.
Is that just being nice? Or is there a strategy there too?
It feels strategic. It's like he's trying to ensure that when his plot against Billy inevitably blows up, he has fewer enemies and maybe more sympathetic ears around. He's managing the family dynamics before he pulls the trigger on the ultimate betrayal of Billy.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly to one of the most secretive plot lines happening. Mariah and Daniel.
Yes. This one feels loaded with future conflict. On September 18th, they have this meeting in the park, and the sources really emphasize Mariah insisted it be kept totally secret from Tessa Porter.
And Daniel agreed to the secrecy.
He confirms he did. That secrecy alone tells you there's a crisis Mariah feels she can't share with her own wife.
Why the secrecy? Why is Mariah leaving town?
The sources clarify her reason for both. She's decided she needs to leave for a while to, and this is quote specific, work through her issues over trying to kill the old guy.
Wow. Okay, so this is serious trauma related to that past violent incident.
Seems like it. Significant, untreated psychological fallout. She's grappling with something dark and needs distance, probably professional help, to sort herself out.
That sounds like a potentially severe mental health situation. But before she leaves, she asks Daniel for something.
An incredibly fraught request. She asks Daniel to keep a specific close eye on Tessa while she's gone. And Daniel agrees, sometime in the week of September 22nd.
Oh, that sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Absolutely. Mariah, in this moment of crisis and vulnerability, asks her estranged friend, who she's meeting secretly, to basically be the emotional caretaker for her wife while she's away.
And Daniel agrees.
He does, which creates this secret, intimate, emotionally charged situation between him and Tessa, all set up by Mariah herself, who's now gone. It's rooted in secrecy, vulnerability. It practically guarantees massive tension when Mariah eventually comes back.
Yeah, you have to wonder how long Daniel keeps this watch and how close he and Tessa might get while Mariah is dealing with her own issues elsewhere.
Big questions looming there.
Okay, finally, just a couple of quick but important sidebar updates that show how far the ripples of the main corporate conflict are spreading. On September 16th, we hear Adam Newman has Chelsea Lawson in a difficult position.
Yeah, the sources strongly hint this ties directly back to the war with Billy, given Adam runs Newman Media.
He's holding something over her head.
The speculation is it's an editorial threat, maybe forcing her to help get inside info on Billy's weak spots. Because Billy's big new venture, AbbottCom, fails to launch, which seems likely given Kane's sabotage.
That was huge news.
Front page news for a Newman publication, absolutely. It could completely destroy Billy's professional reputation. Adam seems ready to capitalize on any mistake his brother makes.
And just as a little counterpoint to all this chaos and backstabbing...
A moment of normalcy.
Almost. We have Lauren Fenmore working hard to impress Christine Williams about their wedding plans. The wedding's apparently scheduled for October.
Right. So even while the city's consumed by corporate sabotage and emotional meltdowns, life goes on. Wedding planning continues. A little bit of hope for stability, maybe, amidst the storm. #outro. So if we step back and connect all these threads from this 2-week period, look at the bigger picture. What we're really seeing in Genoa City isn't just isolated conflicts. It's this deeply toxic, self-feeding...
A feedback loop, yeah.
Exactly. The corporate sabotage, Kane's AI plot, leads directly to calculated personal betrayal. Michael lying to Phyllis, Kane setting up Billy.
Which then just fuels more paranoia and more corporate sabotage, like
Yeah.
Jack and Diane having to figure out how to protect themselves even from Billy now.
Right. The whole system seems designed to just consume itself. Mistrust has become the most valuable currency in town.
That's a great way to put it, and the analysis really holds up. The biggest danger right now in Genoa City, it isn't really Victor Newman. I mean, he's a known entity, right? Predictable in his own way. The real existential threat is this internal mistrust. It's like a virus spreading through every key relationship. You see it with Kyle and Claire and his jealousy. You see it fundamentally with Kane and Billy operating on this lie designed for ruin. And definitely with Michael and Phyllis playing this incredibly risky spy game that could cost him everything.
And the most fascinating twist, the thing that guarantees this is going to blow up spectacularly, is Kane making his supposed ally, Billy, the primary intended target.
Right, the scapegoat.
Kane's entire plan hinges on Billy taking the fall, facing the legal music, the public humiliation. Not necessarily on Victor collapsing immediately, which means the central conflict shifting now is brother versus friend, or ally versus ally, not just family versus rival.
Which leaves us with that final, really provocative thought for you, the listener, to chew on. Billy's main motivation for all of this is this deep-seated, years-long need for revenge against Victor. So when he inevitably finds out that Kane made him the ultimate fall guy, that he was used, not empowered, that he potentially threw away his relationship with Sally for absolutely nothing, will that profound shock finally force him to confront his own destructive, gambling nature? Will he finally seek real change?
Or will he just redirect that familiar explosive rage, turn it away from Victor and aim it squarely at the new primary threat, Kane Ashby?
The future stability of Genoa City might just hang on which path Billy chooses next.